everybody. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited that you guys are here tonight for many, many reasons. As you know, we have the one and only amazing Rose Parma the first Tuesday of every month that she just pours into us. And later, I want her to tell you about how incredible this past weekend has been. And as she talks tonight about the mindset, so it's going to be powerful. But you know what? There's so much more power behind this woman that I love, like my own kid. She is so incredibly passionate about changing lives. So many walks of life she pours into, not just our lives that we love, other people. She goes above and beyond. And so, as you all know, she's a mom of 9 kids and she's a pastor and she's a leader and she's all the things. And it's just so fun and such a blessing that we get to have her tonight. But before we go to Rose Parma, we are going, guys. I want to encourage you guys who on here has your ticket to Momentum. Let me see some hands. Woo, look at that. Okay. That's amazing because here's why. If you look behind Kindle, if you have your ticket, how many of you have already ordered your events package? Me too. And I'm so excited about that. That mug is so amazing. And guys, I have to tell you, this stuff is changing everything. As you all know, I had surgery, a total knee replacement a month ago. And my surgeon said when I went in for my first visit last week, he said, "Wow, that looks really good." I said, "It does, don't it?" I didn't tell him what it was because he's not that kind of doctor that would respect that. And I was sitting there going, if he only knew what I knew, but I didn't tell him yet. But he said, "You know what?" I said, "Well, my sister, you did my sisters and theirs didn't look like this." And he said, "Well, I guess I practiced on them and yours looks perfect." So I know it's because of Fix and the Vericel because it's been just absolutely incredible. So I want to make sure, guys, if you have not gotten your Momentum ticket, make sure you do that so you can get the events package, which is 2 bags of Vericel, and that's 100 QV, 100 CV, and you also get the Vericel metal shaker, which is beautiful. You can see it behind Kindle's head there. And so, but I have invited someone, guys, that May May is amazing. She knows more about this product than probably anybody in the company because she was the first highest ranked person with this product previously. And she is from the UK and she has literally gotten over the top excited knowing that we now have the advanced formula of what changed so many people's lives. So, May, can you unmute yourself and just share with everybody why we're so excited, why you're so excited, because you know all the inside scoop that we don't know. So, could you just share your excitement with everybody, please? And thank you for being on, guys. By the way, it's 1 o'clock in the morning at her home. And so she is sacrificing a lot. So, let's give her a big hand clap real quick. Take it
Oh,
away, Mamie.
thank you, Karen. That is so exciting. Really, I'm more exciting for you guys than myself. Because for myself, although I am excited, this is my dream. And my dream has just come true. I lost my dream 20 years ago. Like you said, I was number one ranked for UK Europe with this amazing product. And I have seen miracles after miracles after miracles throughout those years. And one of them I can share because it's my mother, it's a personal testimony where she had Parkinson, shaking continuously. And after she'd taken this glyconutrients, which is Vericel, she stopped shaking all of a sudden. And I took her to her consultant at the hospital, and he discharged her. And he even wrote a letter to me saying that this patient no longer has Parkinson. Now, no doctors will ever do that because Parkinson you cannot reverse, and there's no medication that can ever heal or cure you. It just tries to reduce the symptoms. That's all it does. So, but with my mum, it totally reversed. And then on top of that, she was also a heavy smoker all her life. And she stopped smoking all of a sudden. And I noticed, you stopped smoking. She said, I don't need it anymore. I thought, wow, okay. And then well, she had a boyfriend then. He had he had like a little ulcer on his foot, which never got healed because he's a diabetic. And all of a sudden, that got healed as well. So miracles after miracles, I have seen everything across the board where it's been medically impossible, and they have come out tops by taking the glyconutrients. Why is it so exciting? It's because it's all about communications. It's all about the signaling molecules. So can you imagine? I'm speaking to you right now using the English alphabet, 26 letters in the alphabet. But if I took out the vowels, the A, E, I, O, U, you will no longer understand what I say, because certain words like book, you will only hear BK. You won't hear the O because it won't the vowels. Whatever I say to you, you will not understand if I take out the vowels. So that's what's happening with our cells within our bodies. Our cell is saying, help me, defend me, detox me, help, I'm under attack, signaling to another cell to come to the rescue. But if that cell don't have the 8 sugars, that cell will say, I don't know who you are. You're not identifying yourself. I'm going to attack you. So now you get autoimmune disease where the cells attack each other. Not because that cell's unhealthy, it's all because that cell cannot communicate. And that's what's happening within our cells. And every one of us is happening all the time. And the only way for you to have your cell-to-cell communication again is by taking the Vericell. The Vericell is the only product in the world with glyconutrients and ACE mannan that allow your cells to communicate. So it is not an amino acid, it's not a vitamin, it's not a fatty acid, it's not fish oil, it's none of these that you are used to purchasing from a health store. It isn't. This is not for sale in a health store. You can only get this through MPG. And MPG has just made my dream come true, because I thought I really lost this 20 years ago. I was so excited when I first found out about this. I thought and my dream is to change global health. That's my dream, to change global health. And not only that, Sam Caster is a personal friend of mine, which I've known him over 20 years ago. And he also has a nonprofit called Manna Relief. Now, the only way he was in partnership with MPG is for MPG to agree that every single packet gets sold, an orphan would be fed for 30 days. So not only you have the product, for every human being, including animals, by the way, dogs, cats, guinea pigs, rabbits, horses, because they got cells too, right? Not only we have the product, we also have the non-profit side where we'll be helping millions of orphans. And not only that, our glyconutrients, our Vericell, is 4 times more powerful than the original formulation. So if I saw these miracles, right, 20 years ago, and now I use the Vericell and it's 4 times more powerful, more potent, just imagine what are we going to see this year. This year, we're going to see miracles. And not only that, we have the best marketing plan on this planet, MPG. So all you do is go and share cell to cell, explain to people what it is in a very simple form. You don't have to go into the science or talk about biochemistry. You don't. All you have to do is to tell people about the alphabet, the missing link in nutrition. And remember, your cells, when they communicate, they go like this, they touch. There's very fine hairs at the end of your cells. And when they touch, they are communicating. That's what they're doing. So if they don't understand what that cell is saying, your body is not going to perform at the utmost. That is what it is about. So what it is that is the alphabet. The alphabet will form words. The words, you can form a sentence. And from a sentence, you can start writing a book, a novel. So your cells, when it communicates, is telling the other cell what it needs. And when your cell can communicate everything about your insides, your kidney, your liver, your lungs, your heart, your organs, your muscles, your ligaments, your cartilage, your eyes, your skin, your hair, it is going to start talking in a proper fashion. So everything internally will become amazing for you, absolutely amazing. Yes, you will still fall sick. None of us, it won't protect you 100%, but you know that when you do fall sick, you can up your Ferricell. That is the difference here. Okay, so N is anti-aging. Of course, it's anti-aging because the cells are healthy. So everything about you is you are going to glow. I'm looking forward to December where I'm going to hear millions of testimonials and just share this product with everyone you know. That's all you have to do. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Kansas City.
Only 26 days away, guys. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Did Susie get on, May May?
Yes, yes, yeah. I'd like to introduce you. I'm Susie. Susie from Greensboro, North Carolina. She's amazing. She just joined the team. I'm very proud of her. She's going to the top. She's reaching for the stars, and she is going to be a crown. Susie, share your testimony, please.
All right, May May. Well, thank you so much. You said that so well. I'm telling you, you are, it's great to be a part of your dream because I know I've known you for 6 or 7 years and you've talked about your dream to impact global health. So I'm excited to witness that with you and journey with you as well in a business I said I was never going to work. But we won't talk about that right now. Anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about Vericel. I am so grateful to May May and Karen and John and whoever went to whatever lengths to get us some of the product. I have an adult son who had a very serious, well, he had a motorcycle accident. All of those are serious, but he did a great deal of damage to his knee. As a matter of fact, his surgeon said he'd never seen a kneecap in such bad shape. So this past Thursday, he had to have cadaver surgery to create a knee. And there was the risk of infection, and it could be quite serious. I was really concerned about all that. And I thought, wow, if he could be on this product, I would feel so much better as a mother. So he had the surgery last Thursday, and he was in horrific pain. Thursday he had the sedation, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it was so bad we had to go to an urgent care place and have it checked to make sure there were not any complications, which luckily there were not. On Monday, the Vericel and the fix arrived thanks to Karen, and it was as of that Monday. My son he had medication in the morning, but and he had his Vericel and his fix, but he has not had medication since. And so that's almost a week without medication. And that's very early on. The doctor was very, very impressed, and he's doing really, really well. And we are so excited that we had access to this amazing product, because otherwise we could have had some difficulties, as I know Karen is familiar with her son. So Karen, thank you so much. And May May, thank you so much. Great to be with you
Thank
guys.
you. I'm so grateful that we had it so that we could get it in the mail. Mamie called. She didn't give me a choice. She said, Karen, I know you have some, and I need you to go to the post office right now and do this. And I did, because
Thank
after
you.
hearing the stories, I knew what could happen for your son. And to be able to have this available immediately was just a God thing. So thank you
Thank
for
you
sharing
so
that with
much.
us.
Yes.
Yes. Mamie, thank you
Yeah.
for coming on. Thank you for sharing your heart, and thank you for bringing Susie to
Mhm.
our team. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So, guys,
Yeah.
I now you know a little bit more why we're all so excited.
Well,
And tonight we want to talk to you guys about your mindset, because we're at a place in our company that we are getting ready to go to a level that we have not been before. And I know this because I've seen it in the past, but I've never had, even with Fix, we did 50 million. I've never felt the way that I feel right now with what is getting ready to happen with our new product. So, with that, guys, I want you guys to give my precious friend, as I said at the beginning, this woman is so incredible in leadership, in ministry, as a mom, in the medical field that she walked away from. But I want you guys to give my dear friend and your friend, everybody looks up to her for a reason, because God poured so much into her and she's willing to share it with us. So, everybody, give a big hand clap to this amazing, amazing double diamond rose Parma. And let's just show her how much we love her.
I love you, Karen. If I ever am having a bad day, I'm just going to call Karen so she could pump me up. I'm just saying, like, you are the sweetest human ever. I love it. Um, Varicel, you guys, it's so great because Karen was like, "What are you going to talk about today?" And I said, mindset. I didn't know that we were going to talk a little bit about Varicel in the beginning, but I think this is perfect. So everybody drop in the chat below, miracles happen. Everyone write this. Okay. I don't care if you're doing one finger at a time. Miracles happen. This was said so perfectly. The way she described the actual alphabet and keeping it so simple, you guys, we seriously cannot overcomplicate this. And I know that we're going to have so many trainings and all the different things. But if you remember nothing at all except for that alphabet analogy, was that not gold? You guys, seriously, that is so important to know that if we have something simple to actually regurgitate, right? We don't need to know all the things, but if we understand how the cells communicate, it's like hair-like fingers is what, they reference it as. And if there is miscommunication, then our body is not properly functioning. Okay. I'm not here to talk about varicella, but I do think that that ties in to what we're about to say, because Karen just said that she is more excited than she's ever been. She was here when Fix launched. Pay attention to this, okay? She was here when Fix launched. And if she is saying she's never been this excited before, you have to know Karen's been taking this. I don't know what I can say, Karen, but if I can say anything, am I allowed to? I don't remember.
You can say anything you want.
Okay. I've been using it too, you guys, and I love it. Okay. This is like been a month that I've been using Varicel. I didn't know if I was allowed to or not, but it is so good. I will tell you, one of the things that I notice is clarity. And I don't even know how that's completely happening, except for I do feel my body being in balance. Now, I'm going to be so transparent. I use Fix every single day. I use greens every single day, and I mix the Varicel in my greens every single day. Okay. My husband loves it. I love it. I will tell you that we just had our big fundraising gala, around 154 different people. There were some people that were hacking in my face that were sick. I am not sick at all. at all. And I've been running around on very little sleep. My body is functioning really, really well. And, at first I was like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be noticing. But when you just notice that your body is doing good and you feel absolutely amazing, that's when you know something is really communicating well inside the body. Now, we're going to talk about that, and let's talk about the mindset that matches what is about to happen for us. Okay. The first question I want you to ask yourselves is a really serious question. And it's around not just business, but it's around your life in general. Okay. Are you being a good steward of all the things? Are you personally being a good steward of your time? Are you being a good steward of your resources? Are you being a good steward of the team that the Lord has already blessed you with? Because if you've already recruited 10 people and you're not being a good steward of those 10 people, you're not going to be a good steward of 100. Okay? And this is kind of one of those hard truths. I never really sugarcoat anything. So if I offend you, I'm not really sorry. I want you to grow. Okay? If this offends you, it's because it's growth time. We need to make sure that we have everything in order to receive the blessings that are about to come. We have to make sure that we have a solid foundation, and that starts with us, and it typically starts right here in our minds, okay? If you are not being a good steward of your time, if you're not being a good steward of your resources, and you're not being a good steward of the people the Lord has already blessed you with, then we need to ask ourselves, where am I lacking? Where am I falling short? If you see that your team is not knowing where to go to launch, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to plug in, or you're hearing, I'm overwhelmed, it's because we probably are not being a good steward launching them. Okay. If you are feeling like you have to answer all the questions for your team all day long, you're probably not being a good steward of the resources that we have available. And if y'all know, Karen has 1 million resources. MPG has 1 million resources. We all have so many resources that we can point people to. We don't want to be taking our time trying to be the resource. We need to make sure that we're pointing them to the resource. Okay. The other thing is, I want you to get very clear on what your vision is. This is scriptural. Okay. It's a kingdom principle. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision plain and clear. Do you have a money goal? And don't be embarrassed if you do. I will tell you right now, I have big dreams. It requires big money. So I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to talk about my money goals. If you have money issues, maybe you have a relationship with money that is not healthy, maybe you come from a bloodline of lack, then maybe there's some work that needs to be done there. Okay. But we need to step into, I love that Alistair just wrote in the chat, what are your money goals? If everybody here can just drop what your money goals are in the chat. Okay, don't think small, because we just talked about miracles happening. Karen just said she's more excited than she's ever been. So we know that this is about to be absolutely astronomically huge. Okay. So if there's any money stuff that we need to clear up in our own mindset, then we need to do that work right now before we get to momentum. Start plugging into things that are going to help you break cycles of lack. I'm going to give you one little tip that I give my clients all the time. If you are struggling financially and you're looking at the bills and you're like, I have all these bills and they're adding up and they're adding up, but my dreams are to build a business that's going to sustain or be above and beyond so that I can pay those bills ahead of time, not even late, but ahead of time, right? If that is not meshing for you and you're like, I just can't see how this can happen for me, I want you to pause and literally do this one quick exercise. And maybe sometime this week I would get it done. Go through your budget, face it head on, look at every single bit of debt that you have, write it down to the penny and ask the Lord for kingdom strategy for you to actually pay that debt off. Literally present it to him, okay? Because he is the miracle way maker. And we're talking about miracles. That's my favorite thing to talk about. Okay, present it very specifically to him. I'm going to give you a great example. Most of you know that I run ministry. We have this big vision. It's a $1.5 million impact center build that we're building. This past week, I had to sit down, or I got the opportunity, I should say, to sit down and write down every single detail, figure out how much it was going to cost so that I can actually present it in our meetings with some people that potentially may want to invest into our ministry. I had to be very clear, down to the penny. We need to be doing that so that we can be good stewards of what we owe and what we are willing and ready to receive. Okay? Miracles don't just happen for me, they happen for you too, Fiona. They don't just happen for me, they happen for you, Kendall. They happen for you, Kayleen. They happen for you, Alistair, for you, Joy, for you, Erica. They're all around us, and we are not excluded from them. We have to be in preparation and be ready to be good stewards of what the Lord is going to be giving us. Okay? So, I really want us to kind of just ask ourselves, are we being a good steward of our time, people, resources? Those three things. Make sure that you're writing those three things down. The next thing I want you to ask yourself is, where can I clear space in my mind so I can get really hyper focused on what I'm doing? Are you overcommitted to stuff? Do you have clutter all over your house and all over your desk? Do you have physical clutter that is distracting you from actually focusing on what you need to be focusing on with your business? Because what you see externally typically is a direct reflection of what's happening internally. Okay, what you see externally, and I know some of you are probably looking around at your house or your desk and trying to hide your camera right now. I'm not judging any of you. Okay, I have 9 kids, so I'm not judging anyone, but I just want this to be something that we're thinking about. If you are cluttered in your physical spaces, start looking at, what can I declutter from? You will actually feel a sense of relief when you remove some of that physical clutter. Then you get to say, okay, what in my mind do I need to get out of my mind? The best thing you could ever do is get a journal and start brain dumping it on. Okay. I'm not talking about just journaling out and spending hours. Just, what are the things that are swirling in your mind that you keep thinking about over and over and over again at the most random times? When you're doing dishes, when you're cooking, when you're showering, when you're driving, and it keeps coming up and coming up. Instead of thinking about it 5,000 times during the day, write it down, okay, so that you can clear that from your mind. Now you have 4,999 extra spaces in your mind in that day that you could actually be thinking about something that is productive instead of, oh gosh, I can't forget to do that thing. Who here is guilty of that? Because I'll tell you right now, that is something that, if you have kids, you're thinking about the kids' events. If you have Zooms, if you have reminders, if you have, oh gosh, I can't forget to get that thing ready for that party or for church or whatever it is, write it down so that you clear space mentally, so that you can actually get clear on what you're supposed to be focusing on. Then look at your time, okay? How much time do you have in a day to actually focus on your business and be realistic with it? If you only have 3 days a week to work your business and only 3 hours 3 days a week, then you need to be extremely realistic on what needs to happen within those 3 hours 3 days a week. You need to look at, what are the income producing activities? You may have heard this a million times, but who really is doing it? IPAs, income producing activities. That's what we need to hyper focus on. Okay, it needs to be social media posts are not an income producing activity. Talking to the people and asking the question, the very simple question that I lead with all the time, have you heard of MHE3? That is an income producing activity. Getting on three-way calls with a new prospect, inviting people to a opportunity presentation, getting your team to momentum, doing a small work session and you and your team coming together in 2 or 3 and saying, let's go and message 10 people at a time. Those are income producing activities. Organizing and getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready for Diamond is not an income producing activity. Talking about the dream 7,000 times is not an income producing activity. It is great, but it's not going to get you results. Talking to the people is what's actually going to get you the results. So, am I being a good steward of my time? How much time do I have to work my business? We need to get super serious because we have a product that is changing lives in addition to another product that is already changing lives. Okay, so now we have a double whammy here that is literally going to change the trajectory of your bank account, of your health, of your family's health, if we take it serious. Okay, so clear space mentally, clear space physically, get serious with the amount of time that you have to actually hyper focus. Okay, look at the income producing activities. Get to basics, stay at basics. You don't need to be an expert at anything. There are many experts in our company. Point them to the tool. The experts are the tool. You don't need to become the expert. You just need to learn the alphabet analogy. Listen to what she said on repeat. This is recorded. Karen's going to give us a recording. Listen to what she said on repeat. Go practice it in the mirror. I kid you not. Go practice it in the mirror. Talk about it with your team, with a couple people at a time so that you can learn how to say what she said. Keep it simple. I'm so serious, you guys. Let's keep it so simple so that we can actually start to just be like a machine that's bringing in people that truly desire to walk in health. Okay. So, and also truly desire to make income to work on their wealth. Okay. These are two areas that we really need to pay attention on. I'm here for the long haul. Who is here for the long haul? I'm here for the long haul. You can't get rid of me unless you fire me. Okay, I'm stuck. I'm here. So if we're here for the long haul, then we need to make sure that we're doing things strategically. Are you being a good steward of the people? Are you showing your team that you care about them? Whether they are diamond or they haven't even hit bronze yet, are you showing them that you care about them? Are you being a good steward of the 2 so that God could bless you with the 20? Then are you being a good steward of the 20 so he can give you the 200? Then are you being a good steward of the 200 so that he can give you the 2000? If you're struggling with 2 ISRs right now, you're thinking like, I don't want 200 because I don't even know how to deal with 2. Get good with dealing with the 2 first. I know I'm speaking to some of you. I'm calling the things out that a lot of you are saying in your head, but you're nervous to say it out loud. I'm just going to say it for you. Keep it simple, plug them into the tools, plug them into our flow that we have here. Keep it extremely simple. Only income producing activities. Look, we have Zooms galore. We have Zooms coming out our ears here, okay? We have tools coming out of our ears. Don't give them all the things. Start with the basics. If they're building, ask them how do they want to build? In person, on social media, or both. There's only 2 ways to build. In person or social media. That's it. There's only 2 ways. Very simple. How do you want to build? Do you want to build one way or the other way or both ways? Okay, let them respond. Once they respond, you show them how to do it. In person, you teach them how to have a simple conversation. Online, you have them do one simple post. One simple post. respond. You teach them how to respond to that. TheDropLaunch.com gives you examples of all of this. Joy, if you could drop that in the chat. TheDropLaunch.com. Thank you, sis. That literally gives you examples of all the things. Once you have them do their first thing, a post or reaching out to people in person, okay, the next thing that you do is you actually schedule either get them to an opportunity and have them invite people to an opportunity, or you are doing a dual live video with them, a dual live Zoom with them, a dual live Facebook with them, okay, to get into their audience because they're nervous as heck on how to speak to their people. So you do it for them. You speak for them. Just ask them what they're excited about. That's all they need to talk about. You lead the show. You talk to the people about what the drops are, or when Vericel comes, what Vericel is. Share that little analogy of the alphabet. Keep it super, super simple. And then have the people reach out to her and let the people, or him, and let the people on their social media know that you are there to help her answer questions. So now the pressure is completely off of your new ISR. You plug them into two things, a chat, okay? A chat and a tool. That's it. A chat and a tool. The chat, it could be whatever chat it is with Karen, plug them into a chat, okay? The tool is a testimonial group is a great tool. That's like literally the best tool. Don't give them boards and ACE and this and that and this. They're going to get so overwhelmed that they're going to literally not know what to do. Okay. They're going to be like a starfish stuck on the wall, not knowing what to do because there's so many things to look at. Instead, we want it to be, we have two things to plug in. And as we go, I'll show you more. As they grow, you're pointing them to more tools. You may have to add them to more things as they grow, but don't scare the heck out of your new ISRs because you're so excited of all the things. Okay? I don't care if you are green, like green could possibly be green. If you are analytical, you lead by logic, it doesn't mean the world does. And even if you are analytical and they're analytical and they lead with logic and all the things, if you give them the research, they're going to go away for 20 years researching. Just give them one tool, the drop launch, what is your test? Karen, unmute real quick. What's the testimonial group you have? I can't remember the name.
Actually, we have inside the reviews, but we also have on our onboarding, we have drop it like it's hot.
Okay, see, so we have the testimonial groups, and those are so good because they can go mayhem on that, but teach them while they're going mayhem, reading all the things. Let's get 10 people in here. Let's invite 10 people in. And as you're reading these, start tagging them in the things that would speak their language. Okay, now we're being a good steward of the people, a good steward of the resources, and a good steward of our time. Because as they're in these testimonial groups, they're going to be in there. You kind of just parked them in there, tag them in a few things. You go on to the next task, IPA, income producing activity, while they're diving into this. Okay. So all of a sudden, look, there's only one of us and we only have so much time in the day. So how can we multiply the things and multiply our time, multiply our resources while we're expanding our business? We have to learn how to get really, really good at this. But if you are stuck in your own head of lack, LACK, because I don't know what to do, I don't know how, or you say the word but every other sentence, that is a problem. You're stopping yourself from actually moving forward. You're blocking other people from their blessing. We got to get over our own stuff first so that we can make room for other people to be blessed. Hear me when I say that. You have to get over your own stuff first so that we don't block other people from being blessed. We literally have a vehicle of hope here. Literally. We have to make sure we're not blocking other people from receiving their blessing. Because I can tell you right now, there are so many of you that have so many friends, so many family members that you know are struggling with their health and with their wealth. And we have a blessing for both of those. So let's be good stewards of that, okay? And I'm gonna end it with one thing here. Your dreams are literally built on the micro decisions that you make daily. Your dreams are built on the micro actions that you do daily. That's how our dreams are built. Micro decisions, micro actions. If you say to yourself, for example, John, I see John's face right here. If John says, you know what, every single day, I'm going to message 10 people every single day. And I'm going to ask them the simple question, have you heard of MHE3? Every single day. But on Saturday, he had a family event and he missed messaging 10 people. Don't beat yourself up for that. Use the term daily-ish. Put -ish at the end. It's actually a psychological thing. I'm telling you this, okay? Say daily-ish. I'm going to do this thing daily-ish, because typically when you are in dream mode and goals and planning and all the things, it's because you're super excited. Maybe you had our Java and you got super hyper and now you want to do all the things, but like tomorrow you're not as excited. If you put daily-ish, you won't be beating yourself up. Our body, our minds keep track of the negative. We actually don't naturally keep track of the positive. We have to work hard to keep track of the positive. It is an actual requirement that we spend time in gratitude, because our body and our minds don't naturally keep track of it. Our minds and bodies actually keep track of the negative, and it's actually a protection mechanism. It's to protect us. So subconsciously, our mind is like, no, remember you said you were going to do that every single day, but you missed Saturday, John. So now you're failing. So it's like, nope, you can't do 10 a day. You better minimize that goal. You better move it down to 5, John. No, if you say daily-ish, now you're giving yourself permission. And actually, your mind is like, okay, daily-ish, you're still winning because you did 6 days. You did 5 days, John. You're still winning. So we're keeping track. This is a win. We're not going to put that in the negative compartment in our subconscious mind. I'm telling you, this is literally how our minds work. When I started adding ish to all the things, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but literally when I put ISH at the end of all the stuff, like I'm a mom of 9. I'm going to go for a walk daily-ish. If I get 3 days in, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Go me, right? So that's one of the things I want to tell you, okay? Daily-ish. Your dreams are built on daily micro decisions and daily micro actions. That's how your dreams are built. Okay? That's it. You just take those daily micro steps every single day. Every single day, micro. Put in ish at the end of all the things and be a good steward of your time, your resources, and of people. Because we cannot ask the Lord for more blessings if we're not being a good steward. And go clean your desk, please, so you have a clean space to work. If it's your kitchen table that you work at, if it's your kitchen counter, whatever it is, make sure you have a nice clean space that when you sit there, you actually feel present and you feel good sitting there. You're not distracted by the clutter, because whatever is on the outside is a direct reflection of what's happening in here. All right, you guys, God bless you. Thank you for having me on, Miss Karen.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Let's give her some hearts, give her some claps. That was exactly, and if you notice on the side, it's like, this is exactly what I needed. This is what I needed to hear. Every time this woman shows up, every time, not just ish, every time. She brings so much. But you know why that happens? Because she loves God, she loves people, but she loves seeing people win. But all of that is all grounded by her love for her Heavenly Father. When you have that in tune, everything else falls in place. And I'm just so grateful that we have her. I'm grateful that you all showed up. And next Tuesday, invite more, invite a dozen people, because every Tuesday, I say, oh my God, that was so good. And we all do. It's like, oh, that was the best. And then we go, it's the best. But I want to say this, and then I'm going to let Candace close us out. Next Tuesday, guys, it's all about Vericel, all of it. So we have a special guest that nobody here has met yet. Maybe Katrina, if she's on, she has. But we have a special guest that has literally earned millions and millions with the Vericel, or that product. And so I want you guys to be educated so that when we launch the product, you know exactly what to do. So make sure you invite everybody next week as well. And Rose, I just want to say you're amazing and I love you. And thank you for pouring in to all of your mission this past week. It was incredible at what you accomplished. And guys, she works with abused and sex trafficked children, giving them hope again. And we say all the time, if we can give others that hope, that sip of hope, that sip of faith, that sip of confidence, the sip of determination, but we want them to have that sip of freedom, freedom to have their health, freedom to have financial blessings, and freedom to know who they are here and why they are here. And that's because of the kingdom of God. So I want to just turn it over to Candace. I know she is driving, but Candace, she gets so excited. She can't stand it. She's probably going 90-ish miles per hour. So Candace, if you would just close us out, honey. And Rose, thank you so much. May, absolutely incredible. Susie, I am so glad you're here. Thank you for sharing as well. So there you go. Miss Candace, just close us out, and thank you all for being here. Love you guys so much.
Oh my goodness gracious, everybody. If you could just for a moment bless our dear sister mama, Karen Ford.
Oh,
How blessed are we, loved and led by a woman of God who gives of herself unlike anything I've ever seen before. As Pastor Rose said earlier, whenever I'm having a moment, because we all have moments, when I talk to my sister Karen, who really is my sister from another mother, my whole day is changed. When my mind gets off, I call her and she says, well, honey, you weren't quite thinking about that, right? She blesses me every time. Please, please, please take a moment to love on her in this chat and with some hearts on the screen. Because Karen, I don't even have words. I just don't. And to hear you say you're more excited than you've ever been with all you've done, all you've experienced, all you've generated in this industry, and you're excited that more than you've ever been, folks. If that's not a testimony, we need to line up. Now, having said that, by the way, I pulled over because I knew I could not try to do this and that while driving. Pastor Rose, bless you as well. Again, light it up for Pastor Rose. What I can tell you is you convicted me with your words tonight. And as Karen said, every call we say it can't get better, and it gets better. And every first Tuesday of the month, I'm just waiting with bated breath to see how you're going to bless us. And you blessed me so much tonight with your reminder, too many reminders. And if you all would indulge me and confirm it for Pastor Rose, of all, what's your daily ish? Put in the chat what you're going to do tomorrow that you heard on this call that's going to make a difference for you in your IPAs and how you're going to bless someone. We have been given something unbelievable and we don't even know what it is. But take a moment to type in the chat to honor Pastor Rose, to let her know you were listening, what you're going to do tomorrow, and and potentially what your daily issues are. Because, yeah, I know I have some more work to do with my IPAs because I get busy being busy, being busy. And I'm committed to doing income producing activities and blessing some other people because we've been blessed. We're blessed to be here. Just invite you to take a moment to look at your notes from this call, to commit, to look at how you can bless God like He's blessed us with what we've received this evening. The testimonies were incredible. And Karen is telling us we're going to get another amazing one next week. So get all your people on this call. All your people get on this call because we don't yet. We've only heard a little bit about what Vericel can do, and there's so much more. So I have talked a long time. I'm grateful to each of you for joining me in blessing Sister Karen and Pastor Rose, and I bid you a wonderful good evening and look forward to seeing you around the internet and just being in touch. And I can't wait to hug you when we get to Momentum. I'm driving 2 days. There's no excuse. Okay. Figure it out. Get there. However you need to get there. Because it will be life changing.
It will. And there is no ish on that. It just really plain old will. Yeah. So thank you so much, Candace. Guys, thank you for showing up. Again, let's give everybody a big hand clap and just give yourself a hand clap for showing up because that says a lot for every one of you that took the time to be here with us tonight. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Remember, Rose has also Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 o'clock on Friday. She has the Biz Boost, and that is the next level. Rose, help me. I don't. And so, guys, that is a teaching, a training, a action training that she does on those days. Show up and let her know how much her work is paying off because it does. And all of you guys can take advantage of that. So, again, good night, everybody. I love y'all so much. We'll see you next Tuesday.